So here's my suncast shed that I purchased for my generator, and we'll start from the outside. As you can see, I did a 2x4 platform, elevated so that it's level. Here's my intake. I also have the small louvered intake on top. Here is where I take out my connection for the wall. I'll show it here in a little bit. I just cover it here to keep any insects from coming in. Here I have more vents. Here's my wireless outdoor temp sensor. And here's my little 7-watt solar charger for the battery for the starter on the generator. If you notice, the green light is charging and the battery is fully charged. I just fit it under this louvered opening here that you can see once I open it. Here's a barbecue temperature sensor, just so I could have a quick shot at looking at what the temperature is inside. These are 12-inch louvered fans. I have 2 of them for maximum amount of airflow to get the heat out. As you can see here, I took the generator exhaust and placed it on the outside. My build is not pertained for it to be quiet, only to protect the generator from the elements when it's running outside and decrease the potential for theft. As you can see, I just used 1-inch gas pipe. These are your cement boards, just to help from any heat deteriorating the plastic. Let's go ahead and open it. So as you can see here, I have a Westinghouse 9500 dual fuel. I prefer propane over using gas. There's my portal to let the connection out for the generator to the house. And as you can see here, I'm using a 24-inch fan, which to me is very, very important. Your generator, the cover, there's a fan in here, which is crucial for the generator to work. You can notice the shroud here. It takes outside air and forces it over the cylinder head. That's the only thing keeping this unit from overheating, and it's crucial. These generators are not made to be in an enclosure, so it needs all the fresh air that it can get. As it states here, let me find it. Well, I'll show a picture of it. It's on the other side, but 40 degrees Celsius is what the max air temp is supposed to be for the generator to be running in, which is why I put this thermal switch here. If the thermal switch senses that it goes above 104 degrees Celsius, it will ground out the spark using the, see if I can find it, this right here, which is your old shutdown wire. It uses that same wiring to ground it out to ground, which is right there, and it'll shut off the generator. These are my leads going from the solar charger to the battery, so it's always charged and ready to go. And as you can see, I do run my propane in the enclosure with it. I don't have an issue with that. Just like you would run your fuel in here with the generator enclosed, I see the same principle here with the propane. As a matter of fact, at least with the propane, when, I don't know if anyone's ever noticed this, but when you're running your propane for a continuous amount of time, this begins to frost. So it's actually aiding with letting cool air from the frost be carried by the fan right through the intake for the cooling of the motor. There, I got more cement backer board. This is the hottest part of the area. I'll show some pictures. I'll try to get the camera here, but I'll show some pictures I took when I assembled this all together to run this pipe out. So all of the major heat from the muffler is now headed outside. There's a union right here, so when I need to work on this, I just undo the clamp, take out some of this heat blanket off, and I could just undo the union and move it out of the way and get the generator out if I need to. These fans don't come wired, so I just wire them together in parallel and run them straight to the generator. When the generator turns on, it lights up these fans, and it also lights up the floor fan. Then of course here, these are my straps. The way I do things as far as when a hurricane comes is I'll have everything set, fuel will be on, and check the oil level. Once all that's done, I grab my straps, shut it all, close it all up, and then I strap the whole shed unit, and I'll show a picture of that, down to the platform so that the wind can't tear it off and it flies away. As you can see here, my base is anchored down on each side, and like I said, I'll show more pictures of it that I have saved on my computer. And here's the other side. So normally between a tornado and a hurricane, with a hurricane, you actually have time to get ready for it. So here I'm going to show you how I have my system set up where I can get ready for it before landfall. Let's check it out. All right, so there it is. Try to do the best I can with 2 hands. I already had the lock undone. Get the lid lifted. Get her open. Now the main thing that I do here is make sure that the power switch is on. Everything else looks good. Then I go ahead and I turn on the gas. Now I go to the back and I pull out the cord. And I head to my box. Now there's no power at the moment because circuit breaker's off. So let me get this situated here. There it is, it's locked in place, lid is down. Okay. Now I always do a test firing. I do it monthly, so today is due. But this is how I test it with a remote. Let me find it here. Okay, here we go. Here's the remote. There it says start, so let's start it. Okay, so now everything stays on the way you saw me do it. Here are my tie downs for the lid. So that goes next. I'm gonna close her up. I'm too short, but here we go. I'm not gonna put the lock on, but I'm gonna need 2 hands to put these straps on. So I'll get back to you. Okay, so here it is with the lid strapped down. Okay, you can see how it goes over the top. It's connected to the eyelets. Okay, all the way across. So now, just wait for the hurricane to hit landfall. And if we lose power, I go inside in my garage to the main circuit breaker panel, pull the main, go get to my remote, and just start up the generator, and I'm good to go.